my God. Hello, beautiful human. Very exciting stuff. Alec Benjamin going to be in the studio in a second. And also, I want to give you a free mattress. If you're interested, grab the QR code on my screen or click the link in the description. I'm going to give you the mattress that changed my life. It's called the Vibrasonic. There's speakers built into it, so you'll watch movies differently, listen to podcasts and music differently. You'll be able to meditate differently. Plus, this thing is an adjustable base, so it aligns to your spine, zero gravity, the whole thing. And there's memory foam, and when you get hot, it gets cold. So check it out. And if you want one for free, scan the link. Merry Christmas. Hi, Alec Benjamin.
Hey, Alec.
Hi, Alec.
I put my backpack on to make it look like realistic.
That was really good.
Oh, thank you.
What do you keep in your...
Wait. I want a free mattress.
Do you want one? I'll send you one.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, do I need to put these on?
It's whatever you want to do.
I'm going to leave them off.
Brother, you've been on this show so many times.
I'm so... wait. How do I...
The rules have not changed.
I'm so happy to be here. I am really happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
I love you so much.
I love you too. I love you both.
Can we do like what's in your backpack?
Oh no, you don't want to do that.
No, we do. What's in it?
No way. It's too messy. There's pretty much nothing in there. The only thing I have in there is just like my computer, and I have what else do I have in there? Oh, I have over the ear headphones.
Cool.
And then I have what else do I got in there? Like some old like food and stuff. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's what I have in there. But just in case, in case I need to. The other day I was driving. I did a session, and I ordered some food to the session, and I didn't eat it, so I got like spicy tuna on crispy rice.
You love that.
I know. Maybe I might have told you this story, but I was driving, and I was like, if I wait like another 20 minutes, like it's gonna be bad. So I decided to eat it while I was driving, and I hit a bump on the 405, and it went all over my car. So I was picking up the spicy tuna off like my steering wheel and off the seat next to me, and then now like in the wheel well, there's like a little bit of crispy rice that I can't get it out. Those are the kinds of things that are in my backpack. Now, can I take my phone and put it next to me? Is that okay? I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
All right, sweet. How are you? How's it going?
I'm doing great.
I've had a weird morning.
You hit a lot of traffic getting here.
I hit some traffic, but also I just like felt kind of weird in the car. So I like stopped at a gas station, and then I continued on my way. But I actually got here like pretty close to 11:30, so that made me feel good. Yeah.
I really appreciate your time and energy today.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
The music, we're in a whole new era, but also
another one.
Another one, but this is very reminiscent of the mixtape narrated for you era.
I think so, yeah. I think I did some more storytelling stuff, and I don't know, I spent a lot of time just at home. I didn't tour really that much last year. The only touring I really did was I did a week and a half on the road with John Mayer at the beginning of the year, which was really cool. Got me excited to make songs again. And then I spent pretty much the whole year just writing songs. So I'm still picking out the last couple of songs for the record, but I think, yeah, some of it is reminiscent of that. It feels like it. And yeah, now I'm just kind of, it's like my fourth project. It's weird, doing it again. But feels crazy. I'm like, whoa, I can't again. Wow. It's just as scary every time.
But the build up to this one is different because, I mean, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but like, you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, you did miss your train.
Ow, I just hit my tooth. All right, I'm good. I got it.
You missed your trainer today. It was showing.
I did, yeah, I know, I can tell. I missed it for like the last 3 weeks. Sorry. Okay, I'm ready.
But the build up to this project was different because, I don't know, like, can you explain the state of mind you were in after narrated for you and into that debut album?
Well, that was a weird thing because I was touring a lot. I was in a weird state of mind. But also, like, when I released that album, it was during the pandemic. So that was, like, a weird thing. And then...
You're talking about the debut.
Yeah, that was, like, a weird time to be putting out music. What was my state of mind? I feel like I had more success than I thought I was gonna have, but at the same time, I don't know. It was weird dealing with like the ups and downs of like having, you know, social media numbers for the first time and all that. And I feel like I'm just now kind of coming out of all those things and being nervous, and because now I'm just like, I feel like this last year I was able to make music and not really, I don't know, I spent a lot of time off of social media, which was good. I think when I made my first project, I was able to stay off of it, and the two in between, I wasn't able to do that. And I think it impacted just like my overall mental state, but also just like the way I made music and stuff. So this time I was able to just not be online and not care as much and just kind of make some of the things that I wanted to make. So that felt good. But yeah, I guess like my mind going into or coming out of Narrated for You was in a place that was unprecedented for me. So like trying to make music after that was kind of an awkward thing.
I mean, it's truly like maybe top 2, top 3 greatest albums in my opinion of all time.
I appreciate that.
For me. Like,
well, I appreciate that.
And I know you don't consider it an album.
Well, I do. I mean, I guess my
hindsight,
label just didn't really want to make it an album, so it was like kind of a contractual thing to call it a mixtape, but it ultimately ended up being counted as an album, so I consider it my first album.
Really, such an incredible body of work.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, which makes me feel like, oh shit, like I got to do that again.
Yeah, but
oh no. It's like I didn't think about the long term. I put so much into that and I worked so hard on it and I had so much time to do it. I never thought like, well, what comes after? And I'm like, oh, I guess I got to do it again. And here I am trying to do it again. It's a lot.
Yeah, but the truth is like, you're doing it again, but in your own way and where you're at now, right? Like it's meeting you where you're at, and we're getting that in the music. And again, like, when I say this music is reminiscent of Narrated for You, how does that make you feel?
I don't know. I think I read like an interview or something of, or maybe I'm making this up, but I was thinking about like Tyler Joseph from 21 Pilots. He was talking about how, I think he was talking about it, or someone else was talking about it, I can't remember, how like when people go to like a friend's house or something and the parents will be like, oh, I love that one record that you did, you know, obviously with all the hits and stuff on it. And it makes him feel like, oh man, like it makes him feel bad because that's not like where he's at now. I don't know if that's actually true, so maybe I'm making that up, but that's how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like I'm like, oh man, like I kind of feel like nostalgic for the person that I was when I made that album. I also feel nostalgic for that period in time because it was such a different period in time, you know? Like now everything has changed so much because of the pandemic and the way people discover music and the way you market music, and I feel like I had to do a little bit less work on the social media side where it was just like so many more people were discovering music in a different way, so you can kind of just put the music out there and sort of let people find it, and now I have to be like, listen to my song. Here's a snippet of my song. Oh me and my best friend in my car reacting to my song, you know? It's like, oh man, I gotta do that. So,
but here's what I'll tell you. You're telling real stories, and they will always manage to find the ears that you need and want and desire. And
I hope so.
And also need that music. And on top of that, like, dude, you evolve and adapt like nobody's business. And many people may not know this, but like you are playing to people who are waiting online to go see other artists. Like you've been able to get out there and market yourself no matter what, no matter the fucking platform. Like before it was parking lots, and today it's fucking TikTok.
How do you feel about TikTok?
It's changed our lives.
You guys you like it?
It's made our show much bigger.
Okay, well that's great.
So I love
Good.
TikTok.
In what way?
Well, here's the stat. 83% of people listen to our podcast for the very first time this year, and the show's been around for 17 years.
Okay, well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Is it from the short form stuff, the clips that you post?
Yeah, because people have no attention span, so getting them to sit down and hear like an hour-long interview, not everyone's going to do that. So if we take different pieces throughout the entire interview, put it on TikTok, they get a little bit of everything.
But it does drive back.
How do you decide what the best pieces are?
Oh, I mean, this is like a behind the curtain, but that's a Dan conversation. I don't make those calls.
How do you do that?
It's a secret.
Okay. All right.
I mean, what do you think of the edits that are coming out for Semi-Therapist Therapy? I love those animated pieces.
Oh, I think they're great. I'm just reposting people's stuff though, because I didn't make it.
Of course,
yeah. But
but-
you guys are taking the stuff from the show and like actually, the thing for me that I think is really hard is like when you make music and stuff, identifying the parts of the song. Well, first it's identifying the song, but also the parts of the song that people are going to want to create too, you know, because my mind doesn't work like that. So I'm sitting there with all these songs and these snippets, and I'm like, well, which one do I post? And then I get nervous because, you know, in the past, after Let Me Down Slowly, I got like, you know, before that I kind of had nothing to lose, so I was really not like, I wasn't like worried about anything, so I kind of would just try stuff, and if people didn't, like, I didn't have an audience. But then after it, I got nervous. So I'm like, well, I don't want to put out a song if it's not going to work. So then I started snippeting too many parts of my songs, and I gave the whole thing away before the album came out. And then it was like, I like got the worst of both worlds. None of them went viral, and my fans had heard the entire record before it was released. So I was like, fuck. So I can't do that again. So now I'm trying to figure out, like, well, what parts of the songs do I put out? What do I use? So that's what I've been doing. I found like a little snippet of this Therapist song that like seemed to be like reactive, and now I'm just like, I don't know, trying to make little videos of it all the time and without pissing people off. That's where I'm at.
It's genuinely working, but I think at the end of the day, all you can do is what you do best, which is tell stories through music, right? And I do think that a lot of the other things have a way of figuring itself out, right? Because whether it's you finding the clip and giving it time and energy, or it going out into the universe and like the people deciding what clip deserves, you know, to be used how.
Yeah. I tried on this record to just talk like about exactly the things that I was feeling. So they're not all like story songs, but they're all things that are pretty relevant to me right now. Like I have a song that is called Pick Me, which is about dating apps. So it's like, pick me. And then I have like some other like, I don't know, other songs. Like I have a song called Love the Ones Who Leave Me, which is like, I always love the ones who leave me. I feel like that's a pretty true statement, so I hope people will relate to that. Well, I hope they don't relate to it because it's kind of a sad thing to feel, but I think other people go through that too. So, and then I have some story songs mixed in throughout the record. Yeah.
Love the ones who leave me.
Yeah, I need to send it to you. I have songs that I still need to send to you.
Yeah, please. So that's really sad, eh?
I guess. Well, if it's a hit, then it won't be so sad. but
do you leave them or do they leave you?
Okay. All right.
Everything okay?
Oh, I dropped
okay?
the headset.
Oh, it's okay. Do you leave them or do they leave you?
Well, I don't know. I feel like, I gotta listen to the song again. I can't remember exactly what it's about.
Well, in life.
But I don't know. There's something painful about, you know, when someone walks away from you and then you kind of hang on to it for a while, and that's something that had happened to me throughout the year. So I feel like in some ways it is kind of reminiscent of the first project that I made, but in other ways it's different because it talks about like where I'm at right now. So that's one of the things that is where I'm at right now. And then I guess, well, the Therapist song too is a little bit about like social media as well, because that kind of feels like it's one of the things that sent me to therapy. So, but that's great that you guys are finding that. That's crazy stat that 83% of the people that have listened to your show are, what was the stat again?
It's 83% of people who listen to our podcast listen to the podcast for the first time in 2023.
That's insane. So are you finding it mostly through like TikTok or through Reels, or what's the place?
TikTok, but it's not about us.
I know, but I'm just curious.
You're so fascinated.
We're having some success on Reels, but it's really TikTok that's doing it for us.
Amazing.
Yeah. I don't really know. Ask him.
Okay, well, I was watching the Mike Posner and Blackberry episode through TikTok the other day, and it just came up on my feed, and I watched it because of that, so it's working. And it was really, really funny. I love that episode.
That's what I try to do. I try to take the parts that are funny or exciting, and there's something like, hate the word, clickbaity about it, and that's what I post, and it worked.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's like one of those things.
You always say this, and you're so popular on TikTok. It actually makes no sense. No, you don't. Stop talking.
No, I feel
you're
like
very humble. Like, it's really annoying.
So
I love
a lot
ya.
of my stuff is like I think that I need to figure out like how to do like better like personality content and do stuff that's like more branded to me as opposed to just like posting about my music. But
I understand that. You just got to be you. Remember, I've said that to you so many times over the years, and like, again, many people don't know your story. Like, your real first album
Mm.
was delivered to a record label that you were signed to, and once you gave it to them, they just decided to throw it away.
Yeah, yeah. But I ended up holding on to some of those songs anyways, which is like,
Water Fountain?
yeah, I held on to Water Fountain. I had a song called 1994 that I
So
held
good?
on to.
That it makes its way into Narrated for You?
yes,
You did
it
that with
does.
John Bellion?
Almost did it with John Bellion. He produced like the first version of it, but we didn't end up doing it together. But
Ah.
I ended up writing a song with him for his album, which was awesome. And then I ended up getting to go on tour with him, which was really, really cool. And like my first tour experience as well. My first time on a tour bus was with John and his
Lay Me
camp.
Down in Brooklyn. Isn't that you?
Yes. Yeah. You know, I still to this day, I don't really know exactly what the lyrics were because I didn't really finish them in the studio, but it sounds like close enough to like real words in the track. So the lyrics are what ultimately everyone wrote on Genius were the lyrics, but I don't know exactly what I was trying to say in the song. It was close enough. Yeah. But that was cool. That was like the first song that I ever did with someone else. And then, yeah, after that, I just kind of like,
But you fought to get your music back.
I did. I ultimately did get it back, and that was cool.
I feel
And
like all
then-
this leads to you being incredibly humble.
I don't know if I consciously am that way, but I guess I just never. I feel like I still have a lot to prove. So, yeah, I still am not really where I want to be. I'd like to play arenas at some point, you know. And I feel like every day I kind of wake up and I'm like, okay, how am I gonna get to that next level? You know, I'm hoping I have a song on this next body of work that gets me to where I want to be, but I'm not sure if it's on there or not. But I hope so.
What goal did you set before you started even making anything for whatever it is that comes next?
Yeah, the goal I set was I'd like to in like the next 2-3 years. Like I'd love to play. I mean, I want to play the Garden at some point. That would be cool. I want to play like Staples Center or the Bowl. And I'm hoping that based off of the music that I've made up until this point, including this record, will be like enough to kind of get me to that point.
Are you setting creative goals?
Goals creatively? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I wanted to tell a few more. There's some stories that I wanted to tell. That's a good question. Are there creative goals that I set for myself? Well, I think that the goals creatively I have always been the same from the start, which is like I want to tell stories and I want to talk about things that are true to me. And then sort of I'm hoping that I'm able to sort of like with each album grow a little bit and do that a little bit better so that I can ultimately like, grow my audience, I guess. I don't know. I hope that I make good enough songs so that enough people want to listen to them so that I can fill seats in a room and sing them for people. I guess the creative goal that I wanted with this record was just to be as honest as possible. And also, I guess I wanted to try some new stuff production-wise, so I wanted to try a new sound. I didn't want it to just sort of be strictly like me and an acoustic guitar, me with a piano. And I wanted to have a few more up-tempos on the record, and I've never really had any of those. So that was one thing creatively that I wanted to do. And try like a new vocal sound as well. So it's not just sort of like no reverb, like my voice just like front and center. It's sort of like my voice is like occupies a little bit more space in the track. And I worked with new producers that I haven't worked with before. So on this next song I have coming out is a guy that I've never worked with. His name is Jordy Peleg, who I have not worked with before. And then there's a production duo named Stargate, who I worked with for the first time. And they produced a lot of the songs on the record. And then a few others here and there. So that was new for me.
So what are you doing? Are you going to them with a song, or are you going into the studio to write something?
Sometimes I go in with... Okay, my process for this record has been different from the other ones, but I think that musically, kind of what happens is I will, with my hands and the way that my hands feel on the guitar and the way that my hands feel on the piano, I always like naturally go to the same place for some reason. Over time, just like the musical ideas that I have, they feel like a little redundant to me. So I wanted to go and work with new people I walk into the studio and I have like a bunch of lyric ideas. So I'll sit at the computer and I wrote down like 150, 200, 300 like lyric ideas, song ideas, and then I'll be like, can you just play me some play me some music things, and then they'll like cycle through some music ideas, and then I'll be like, okay, like this title would work over this title work over this. And so for this last song, I had the title in my on my laptop. Like I sent my therapist to therapy, and I was like, that would be cool if I could find the right musical pairing for it. And when I walked into the studio, my friend Jordy played this track, and I was like, this is the track that's gonna fit this lyric. And so then I kind of like was like, okay, can you just run that for 30 minutes? And he just ran the track for 30 minutes and was building it. And as he was building it, I was coming up with lyrics and trying to sculpt the song around the track. So in the past, I hadn't always done it that way, but this time it was a different approach.
So are you conditioned to do a session like that only after writing as many songs as you have? Because you've done something that a few artists have done, but like you wrote a song every day for like
almost every day.
For like how many? I mean, like hundreds of days.
Well, I tried for this record or just for all of them?
No, just in life.
Well, this record I wrote about 130 songs.
Holy shit!
But it wasn't every day. It was like, yeah, but that's only impressive if they end up being good. If I wrote that many songs and they're
you
not
have
good.
amazing songs that I feel like don't like. Dude, just one off the top of my head is "Nuclear Winter." So
oh yeah,
good.
that's an old one.
I love it. Yeah, I know so many old ones. You have so many great ones.
Thank you.
So many good ones.
Well, hopefully I picked the right ones. Because there's so many. But maybe one day I'll just do like an album of B-sides and put out all the songs that I never released.
I think you'd be really surprised by the response.
You know what? Maybe, and then I'd be like, oh damn, I should have put like this one out or whatever. I have a bunch of demos online that I see a lot of times. Like my fans will ask me to be like, oh, can you put this one out? Or maybe that's kind of the next thing that I do is work on all the songs that I've put out over the years on YouTube that people wanted to hear that I just never finished.
Knife in my back. I see people want that
I see
one.
that all the time. Yo, maybe I should finish that for the. I was thinking that was the one I was thinking about in my head too. Have you heard that song?
No.
Okay, well maybe I should finish it. But I don't know. They're just like I try to go through and pick the best ones, but it's hard for me because like I'm not making the music for me. I'm making it for the potential audience. So I don't always pick them right. But my sister picked this next one, so she's back behind.
She's the good
curtain.
ear.
Yeah. So hopefully she did. Hopefully she picked the right one.
Family is a big through line to what you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still live at home, so they can't get rid of me. I'm trying, or they're trying.
They've been trying for a minute now.
Family's like the most important thing for me, I feel. Yeah, it is a big through line. They help me. My mom helps me pick all my songs, and now my sister's sort of helping me kind of get my stuff together so that I can get this music out, and she's helping me do everything.
That is so the right move.
I think so.
Feels
good.
It's amazing. Like on the nose, super healthy.
I think I should have been doing it for a while, but
it's
I feel
okay
good about it.
But also, like, dude, your parents and your family have been a part of your career from the very beginning. Like, you have sat on this couch before and like thanked your dad for driving you to a bunch of different places.
Yeah, he drove me down to LA yesterday. That's the worst part I feel
He
about
still
it.
drives you, but he's been driving you for
living
like
in
10
Orange
years.
County is like just driving back and forth all the time. It can be a pain, but I like living at home. It feels good. But I'm getting ready to move out at some point. Get my own place.
Okay, I've been hearing this for a while.
Yeah, I think you've been saying this every time you come on our show for like 5 years.
Yeah, it's still the same. But I'm excited about putting this music out and seeing what happens, and hopefully I'll get to tour it pretty soon. But I kind of cleared my schedule so that I would be able to just release the music and make the TikToks and hang out and sort of do the thing, be present while I'm releasing music. Because in the past, it's hard to do everything at once. You know, while you're touring, while you're writing songs, while you're releasing songs. Like I wanted to be here. And I felt like up until this point too, I hadn't really made a music video that I was proud of. And I think the music video that I made for this song is going to be really good.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You've never been proud of any of the other music videos you put out?
Not really, no. I never felt comfortable like being on camera. So this is the first time where I felt like, oh, I made something where I can watch it and not be like, oh, I did that, like, or oh, I did this move or whatever. I felt like comfortable in front of the camera, which is exciting for me.
What changes?
I've just made so many bad ones that ultimately I just feel comfortable in front of the camera now. I kind of know what doesn't look good and what looks good. Also, what changes is that in the past, like as I've been making music videos, I've gotten treatments for them and come up with ideas for them while I'm doing a million other things. And this time I was like, I just want to be at home and kind of like focus on each individual thing so I can put 100% into it.
So how are you narrowing down records though? Like you wrote over 100 for this album and you were only getting how many?
12.
That's crazy.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Maybe more. I don't know. I think 12. Yeah, 12.
Wait, who's listening to all this
I
music?
send them
with
to
you?
you. I send some of them to you.
Yeah. Dude, I wonder, there was a feature you sent me. Is that going to be on there? Or there's a collaboration, sorry.
I have 2 collaborations that will be on there, but I don't remember which one I sent you, but probably, yeah, that will be on there. Oh, that's something creatively that I've been pushing myself to do more is collaborate with not only other producers, but other artists as well. So,
Why now? What held you back before?
collaborating with other artists is really intimidating. Working with people that you're a fan of, it can be really scary, and I was too scared to do it. I didn't feel like I was in the right place to do it. It just has like, it takes a lot. I get really nervous and anxious, and I have high anxiety, and this is like the first time I've been able to just push myself past that point to get into the studio and do it. You know, it's like hard to tell another artist that you really admire. It's scary to go in a room and tell them like your ideas. Yeah, so this is the first time I felt comfortable enough to do it.
Well, confidence? What
Yeah,
fuels
confidence
that
is part
confidence?
of what, I don't know. I just felt like it was time to try something different. So maybe it wasn't confidence that's what pushed me into doing it. It just felt like it was time to try something new. And I was excited about trying something different and working with new people and getting new perspectives. So even though I was nervous about it, I was just like ready to do it.
What do you learn from these new perspectives?
Well, the artists that I work with, they have a very different process from me. So trying to figure out how I fit into that process was kind of difficult. But I learned that there's different ways to approach, writing a song. Like sometimes I work with people who will just put on a track, and then I'm very like, I get into the studio, I'm very like, okay, like let me just write in my notebook and give me an hour, and then I'll show you what I come up with. And then other people are like, okay, here's a mic, the song is playing, like just singing the first thing that comes to your mind. And I'm like, oh shit, like that's pretty scary. But I tried it, and I did it on this project. So,
Really?
yeah, but in front of like, and sometimes people like they have like a little bit of a posse in the studio too. So it's like you have to do your thing in front of them, and that's like a little scary as well.
And Alec Benjamin does not have a posse outside
No,
of
I
his
just roll with my
parents
sister
and
or
his sister.
my dad. Yeah, and I normally don't let other people in the studio. It's like, because it's a very, I don't know, when you walk in, you're like, hey, I want to write a song about sending my therapist to therapy. Sometimes people are like, that's weird. I'm like, yeah, it is weird, but it's like a very personal thing.
Totally.
to go open up your notepad and be like, these are the things that I wrote down. This is what I'm going through.
The most vulnerable thing a human being can do.
Yeah, so I think that's what was holding me back from working with other artists. It's like especially when you have someone that you're a big fan of and you're kind of just there, and then you have to open up your notepad and be like, hey, here's the things that I was thinking might be cool for a song. It's like, it's a scary thing to do, but it felt like it's something that I needed to do now. I think I need to do it even more than I've done it on this record, so hopefully like more collaborations will be coming in the future.
I mean, you have to learn from these situations, right? Like you push yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I learned a lot, and I think that that's reflected in the music.
Did working with Dream in the past make these collabs any easier?
No. Maybe a little bit. No, I'll tell you why. Not because working with Dream was something that I was able to do still like by myself in a room, and then send it to him, and then have him do his thing, because we did it at that point. He hadn't revealed his face, and he was in Florida, not in California. So the collaboration part of the process was easier because it was done like it wasn't done together.
It was virtual.
So yeah, but I'm assuming that if we had done it one-on-one, it might have helped me a little bit, but the way that came together was like not the same way that I did these new ones.
You went into the studio. You've been in London too.
I was in London, yeah.
To work with who?
I went back to the UK to write with a songwriter that I had worked with a lot when I was younger. When I was younger, basically, I wanted to get involved in music, but my parents were supportive, but they didn't really know how to help me, and they didn't really have my parents are not in entertainment, so they were like, well, you kind of got to figure it out. So I was sending like messages on Wikipedia to people who had collaborated and contributed to projects that I was a fan of, and there was a songwriter named Sasha who I had reached out to online when I was like 14, 15, and he heard my music and started bringing me back and forth from Arizona to London to like mentor me and teach me how to write songs. And I went back to the UK to work with him for about a week, and then I worked with some other songwriters as well, like maybe 5 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is that like to work with somebody that you worked with at the very beginning?
It's awesome. It's great that we still have a relationship and that we can still make music together. And like, what was it like? Well, I think the title track for the record, I wrote with him, so it was good. It was really good. It's nice to, I don't know, when I become friends with people and I find people that I connect with, I like to keep them in my life. So
Was he a part of the last album?
I'm happy that I'm still friends with you guys
Yeah,
too. Was he part of the last album? Yeah, I wrote a song with him called "Hill I Will Die On."
Oh,
and then
great record.
I wrote a song with him called "Paper Crown." That was like one of the first songs I made when I was like 18, 19.
So good.
So I've made like a song or two with him since for each record.
It's giving the right balance of roots and pushing yourself out of comfort, like the right amount of comfort and discomfort. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think so. I think making an album is always like a scary thing. It's always like I feel always scared and uncomfortable like putting out new music, because I always have this expectation of, I always have this sort of like feeling of what I want the music to be and how I want it to perform and how I want it to be perceived. And I have like in my head of like, okay, this is what I think it's going to be when people hear it. And then when you put it out, you have to reconcile that with like how it's actually received. And so that's kind of like a weird, it's kind of a weird thing. So I'm always scared before I put out new music. It's always like a weird time for me as I'm releasing songs to talk about them too. I'm always scared. Like I wake up every day, I'm like, damn, I hope this does well, or I hope people like it, or I hope it's received in the way that I want it to.
Did you have those same feelings around Narrated for you?
About everything I put out. Because I feel like with art, it's like you don't always, I don't really feel like I'm making anything. I feel like I'm just sort of like taking different elements and sort of like manipulating the context around them and presenting them to people. So it's like I've taken like my voice, or I've taken like these lyrics or like this sonic palette, and I've added these ingredients, and then you're showing it to people. And, you hope that your perception of what those things are is like as close to reality as possible. So, because like, if it's not, then like you have to know like what colors you're painting with, you know what I mean? So, and then if you put it out and the world doesn't see it the way that you thought they were going to see it, you have to question like your whole view of the world. You're like, oh man, what did I get wrong here? And then it's like, oh, I've been looking at this wrong for like 2 years. Like, damn, I got to reassess. And that's kind of a scary thing, because when you put it out, then you find out like if your assumption was correct or not.
Well, why do you have to assume or have expectations?
So that's just who I am, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I do. And so, yeah, I hope that it kind of finds its way in a way that I want it to.
They're incredible records, and
Thank you.
great art and great music always finds its way to the people that need it.
I hope so.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah, if not, I'll go back to the drawing board and make another album. That's what I gotta do. I just keep making songs. But yeah, every time I put it out, every time I make another record, I think it's gonna be easier, or it's gonna be less scary or whatever. And it kind of find that it's always like just as scary every time you put a lot of work into it. And yeah, I don't know.
I give you a lot of credit for like doing the most different, like going and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and working with a bunch of different producers and artists. And that's
thanks.
Yeah,
I tried. It was a scary thing to do, but fun, and I enjoyed it. Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot.
Did your label actually tell you that I Sent My Therapist to Therapy was not commercial enough?
Not in a way. Yeah, in a way. But, also like, yeah, sort of. Well, yes. They said it had too many words. Yeah, straight up. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but yeah, they said
you put it on TikTok.
They said it had too many words. I knew, I knew that I wanted to put it out on December 8th, and I was like, look, I'm going to put this stuff up. Like, I think it's probably people are going to like it. And then when they did, they were like, okay, you can put it out. But yeah, they were like, it wasn't their pick for like the single, but it looks like right now it's the one that I've put out that seems to be doing the best. But who knows? Who knows? We'll find out on Friday. Listen to it.
Where did the idea for that song start?
Okay, so I went to. I've been going to therapy. That's one of the things I've been doing for this year. Since I'm home and I have the time, and I'm trying to sort of take care of my mental health. And I also saw a psychiatrist, and I try to be like as honest with them as possible. And then sometimes when I say things, I think like I can kind of see in their eyes like, oh, maybe I said too much, you know? And then you start to realize like they're also human as well. So I'm sure like they have their own sort of, they're probably like, oh man, this kid's messed up. And then I was thinking like, I wonder who they talk to, you know? So I'm wondering and so I just made up this story about like, you know, I went into my therapist's office, even though I do therapy on Zoom, and my therapist was like, hey, I can help you. You can tell me anything. So then I really opened up and said all the things that I wanted to say, and then they were like, wait, that's worse than we thought. And then they go to a therapist. And then at the end of the song, I guess people will find out if they listen to the song, but it's the therapist. You run into him at a store, and he's like, oh, actually, I went to a therapist, and my therapist told me, and now everyone's going to therapy. So you send your therapist to therapy, and then he goes to see a therapist, and that therapist ends up having to go to therapy, and it's like happens, you know. That's the song. But I guess I had one encounter with my therapist where I had said something where I thought, oh, maybe I crossed the line there. And, you know, you expect them to be like, you know, they're not, you expect them like, oh, they're not going to judge you or whatever. Not that maybe they didn't, but, you know, they're also people too. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming they have to talk to someone as well. And I'm probably some of the things that they hear, things that you say probably weigh on them too.
We're all human. And it's crazy that they say that that's not commercial, because that song is incredibly relatable.
Well, you know, when I made it, I didn't know if it was going to be relatable, but I guess like I just can only talk about the things that I know. So I hope, yeah, is it?
Yes, I'm telling you, you just gotta
you ever have
yourself.
A moment in therapy where you're like,
totally,
oh, man, maybe I shouldn't have.
Dude, my therapist like one time like told me something insane. Like I kind of had to black it out because I don't see them anymore. But like essentially like how my reality was just extreme.
Okay. And then did he say that he had to go to therapy?
It seemed like he was going.
Okay.
He was giving that energy.
Well, sometimes it surprises you the things that people relate to. So, like, I had a song on my last album called Devil Doesn't Bargain that I didn't think should be a single, and I didn't put it out as a single, and then it was the one that did the best. So, you never know.
Is there a story on this next album that's, I mean, the most intricate, or like maybe, I don't know, like you can maybe hear it as one thing but really means another?
There might be. Can I look through my list of songs on my album? Is that allowed? I bet you there is. Maybe. Hold on. I have this list of songs.
By the way, you can listen to Alec's music on Amazon Music.
Oh yeah, I have one song. Yeah, you can listen to my songs on Amazon Music. I have one song called "The Arsonist" that sounds like it's maybe about a relationship, but it really is about my mom, where I got into a fight with my mom, and then I kind of like blamed it on her, even though I knew it was my fault. And when you listen to the song, it sounds like maybe it's about like a relationship with, you know, a significant other, but really it was for my mom. And then when I played it for my management for the first time, when I was going in and showing them the record, my mom was listening to it, and then I told everybody, and she didn't know it was about her either, and then she knew. And
is she the arsonist?
No, I was. Oh. It's like, because it's like the song is like, it's like I feel like what an arsonist does is a lot of times they'll burn something down, and then they won't take responsibility for it. And that's what I felt like I did, you know. I burned it to the ground, and then I was like, it wasn't me, you did it. You started the fire, but I really started the fire. So that's a song that's about something that maybe when you listen to it the first time, you wouldn't know what it's truly about, but that's what it was about. And that was like my apology to my mom for that time.
How did you document inspiration for that? Like, was it immediately after the fight? Was it a couple days after the fight that you...
I wrote the song like 3 months later.
Whoa. Did you have ideas sketched down?
And I just had that title, The Arsonist, and I just liked the way that the words sounded, and then I kind of figured out what it meant to me afterwards. And as I wrote it, I'm like, oh, this could be about that. And then it helped me kind of put the rest of the song together. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
How'd your mom feel?
Oh, she appreciated it. She probably would have been nice if I would have just apologized a little bit sooner. But I feel like the song is like it's like I don't know. I think she accepted my apology, so it's good. I think she likes it.
That's healthy. What are you thinking?
Well, we didn't really touch on the dating app song.
Oh yeah.
Is that about you having success or no success on dating apps?
It's about me. Well,
Would you say you've had success?
I'm still single, so no. But I just try to talk about some of the things that people experience when they use dating apps. Like the first part of the song is like, I talk about like, is it lying if I add a couple inches to my height, say I'm 5'11", when I'm really 5'9", 5'10", by the way, just so you guys know. But yeah, I put that in the beginning of the song, and then like the pre-chorus is like, we can say that we met at a party or at the park, kind of those things. And then, yeah, it's just about like people's experiences. I feel like that's how people meet other people now. So have I had success? I've met some really, really awesome people online, but I haven't found the one for me yet. So
Knock on wood. Knock on that log.
yeah, knock on wood. Maybe one day soon. I mean, I probably got to move out of my parents' house first.
Slow and steady. You know?
She was like, yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's the next move. But no, I've have you? Are you in a relationship?
Depends on the day.
Wow.
Okay. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What about today? What about today?
It depends on the day. But no, I'm not on dating apps because I just think it's so awkward to meet someone and then like have to see them in person and have like an awkward conversation. Like I'm just not about that. I like to meet people through other people in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. I liked the process of meeting people this year because when I would go into the studio and I would talk so much about myself and like reveal so much about myself while I'm writing a song, it was nice to go out and meet somebody for dinner and kind of just hear about someone else's life. And that was inspiring for me for music, and it felt like it took the pressure off me, so I could just kind of ask questions and be like, where are you from? And I was okay with it. It was it's less awkward than a songwriting session. So, but I feel you.
Do you think did a lot of these people you were going on dates with, did they know you were Alec Benjamin?
I think I'm like, no, yeah. I'm not Justin Bieber, so
You've had some success.
But I think no, not really. Like I don't know. I didn't really talk about it. What didn't really come up. I just got to ask other people questions and kind of listen, and that was nice. I would play some people music though, be like, what do you think about this song or that song, to see like
That's cool.
maybe that would help. But, like not like with the date, but like maybe they would help me pick some songs out. So that was nice to like have people who are objective who didn't know me be like, what do you think about this? Sometimes people were like, I don't really like your music very much. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Sounds like a great first date.
Sick. I'm like, actually, I didn't make this with my friends. I'm just asking for something else.
This is a joke, actually.
This is a joke. I was just kidding. Like, I was just like, this is, but it was, I think a lot of the songs that I made on this album are about just the process of meeting new people too. Because during the pandemic, I didn't really get to meet anybody. And then I'm always working, so I hadn't really like gone out a lot, and this last year is something that I did a little bit more than I've done in the past, and I had a really nice time meeting people. Met some great people, so yeah.
Special.
Yeah. What is?
No, like you're out there meeting people,
Yeah,
even if
feels
it's
good.
not like a forever thing. Impressions, like even having a moment with somebody has the ability to like really shape who we are.
Yeah, I have a lot of songs on my album about it, so.
You should listen to the album, and also, when is it coming? Is there a date?
Hopefully in May. Yeah.
What?
Hopefully May.
We have to
Is
wait
that a
for
long
May.
time? I'll try to put out like a single every month.
Wait, I thought you were actually joking. Wait, we have to wait till May?
Well, I'm gonna put out like music every month, and
Okay.
then I'll hopefully put it out in May.
May's not that far away. It'll be
Yeah,
here
it's pretty
before
close.
You know
It'll be
it.
here exactly. Yeah, it's crazy how fast time goes. I can't believe I've already made 4 records.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How wild is that?
No, dude, sometimes I'm like, oh, it feels like yesterday that I saw you in a coffee shop playing like,
Yeah,
I don't know, like 20 people?
I'm going to do more of that this summer, hopefully. I'm not really going to tour a lot, but I'm going to hopefully do like a few small shows in America and then some other places before the album comes out. And then I'll probably tour a lot in the winter, but in the summer I'm going to do like some small shows and maybe I'll go back to the coffee shop.
That's crazy. I'll remember that day forever.
Me too.
You should do some small shows in London at the end of May.
Are you going to be there?
Yeah, we may.
Okay.
But we just
You
wanna
may?
Go. Yeah, we may. I said,
Yeah, I might. I'm thinking I will.
Well, let's purposefully cross our trips.
Okay, cool.
By the way, the last time we were in London, do you remember you were at Nessa Barrett's show?
Oh yeah, that's right. Were you there?
Yes.
Yeah, why don't we see you?
We didn't see each other.
No, we heard, which is so weird because like the venue's like I don't know, the weirdest.
She was awesome.
Place.
I've
Yeah, she's amazing.
never seen her perform before, and I really like her music. But I didn't know that you were there.
No, yeah.
So-
there was no service, and we were trying to text, and then it was very weird.
I thought, what were you doing in London just for the show?
Yeah, I went all the way to London. To
Did
see
you?
Nessa Barrett. No.
Oh, I don't know.
No offense. I would fly to London for you, Nessa, at
why
any
I was
moment in time. No, we every May we're a part of the Ivors, which is a very prestigious.
Oh yeah, the award show.
award show. Yeah, for
Oh,
music.
amazing.
Yeah, and we handle the coverage for Amazon Music, and it'll be on the Amazon Music Twitch channel. So
Okay, amazing. Well, the show was
Ivors.
awesome.
Is that why you flew to London to see Nessa, though, right?
I went to write, and then found out she was playing, so I went to go see her. And it
Good
was
show.
Really, really cool. Yeah, she was really good.
can you come back for the album then? Because I don't want to like.
I'll be there. We'll meet again at another Nessa Barrett show in London.
This is interesting. You're a part of this AI thing.
Oh yeah, yes I am.
John Legend, Troye Sivan, Sia, Charlie XCX, Demi Lovato, Charlie Puth, and you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're lending your voice to technology for me as a normal person to do what?
So I'm not really exactly sure. The project is really new, and it's kind of like an experimental thing that YouTube is doing, but they're doing it like it's like a beta program with a few artists, and they are basically like they're using my voice to basically you can just ask the AI to use my voice to like write a song, and it will write a song with my voice, and then it will sing it back to you. It's kind of crazy. I have used it a couple times, and it's wild. But I felt like, you know,
Are the songs?
The songs are their songs. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely a song.
Got it.
It's writing it in my voice. I'm not even thinking about whether or not like I would listen to it or whatever. But they're only 30-second snippets, so they're not like full songs that you can really stream or whatever. But I just figured, you know, the technology is changing and it's gonna happen anyway. So I might as well be a part of it. Sort of, kind of figure out how people are gonna use it. But I haven't really figured it out yet. But yeah, other people there's a few influencers that have access to the program and they can just type in like, hey, write a song about whatever and use Alec's voice and it'll do it. So
Are you worried about what's going to come out of it, like some of these songs?
yeah, I am. But I think that it's like I'm gonna find out anyway, so I might as well see what happens. You know, maybe the next time I'm here, I will be an AI version of me. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not sure where AI is headed, but it's pretty crazy what's happening with technology, and I kind of want to be like one of the first people to figure out like where it's headed and where it's going, so that I can kind of use it. And also on this like last project, I used like ChatGPT and stuff to help like prompt ideas. It didn't give me like full song ideas or full lyric ideas, but I could type in like a lyric and be like, I'm stuck here. Where should it go next? And it would give me some ideas that maybe I wouldn't necessarily use, but spark something in my brain to be like, oh, let's try. Maybe I could go down this path. So I'm really interested in where AI is
It's
headed.
like being able to brainstorm with people, but
Yeah.
there's no people.
Yeah. Well, it is. They're right. Yes, they're not like physically there with you, but I feel like the way that our brains work is very similar to how AI works. You know, because it's like AI is trained on a data set, and then it will take that data and create something. So it's like it's not just one person, but it's a million people. It's the data from millions of people, and it's giving you ideas with that. It's kind of cool.
Gnarly.
Yeah, I feel like that's how our brains work too. Like if you're coming up with melodies or whatever, you know, they're like little bits and pieces of things that you've heard along the way in your life, and that's sort of like amalgamated through like some sort of unconscious process, and then it comes out. You know, that's why sometimes you'll sing something, and you'll be like, oh, you can immediately identify like, oh man, I got to change that because it's too close to this song that I heard the other day or whatever. But I feel like kind of that's like AI is kind of doing the same process. So I mean, I don't really know, but it'll be interesting to see where it's headed. But it's cool to be involved in the process. Yeah.
It is sick.
Have you used ChatGPT for anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not like in work, just like messing
for fun.
around.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh wait, I had to send an email once, and I didn't know how to write the email, so I used Chat GPT to kind of give me an outline.
How to deny a guest politely.
I think yeah, exactly.
It's like how to say no to somebody in a nice way.
Is that what you said?
Yeah,
And was it good?
yeah, I think we kind of used the outline and we like rearranged some things, but we basically used that. It's really smart. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's pretty cool. So I'll let you know how it goes. It's like my first sort of foray into AI stuff with music. And honestly, like when it made the song with my voice, it was kind of crazy. It was like actually pretty good.
That's kind of wild.
It's like, man, I spent all this time on a record. I could have just, no, just kidding.
Different Kind of Beautiful is one of the songs we have now.
Yes, yeah.
Where does that song come from? Is that a person that?
Yeah, it's about a person that I thought they were really beautiful.
Water fountain girl.
Yeah, and I just said that on TikTok, but sort of. But yeah, no, it's just about someone that I saw who I thought was really pretty, and I was just afraid to tell them. So that's what I wrote the song about. Yeah, pretty simple song. But I thought it was like a good song to lead with because production-wise, it's different from stuff I've done in the past.
Is there a story you're telling with this new album, top to bottom?
It's not like a concept album, but I think it's just a story of where I'm at in my life right now.
Do you have a name for it?
I do, but I can't say yet. It's a secret.
Listen to Alec Benjamin's music, the stuff that's out now. Plus, the entire catalog is on Amazon Music. Thoughts?
Well, you said I sent my therapist to therapy. You said it's a sequel to Boy in the Bubble, but you also said it's a cousin to Mind as a Prisoner.
Yeah, that's true.
How do they all relate and intertwine?
They're all just about, I think Boy in the Bubble has to do with like past trauma, and then Mind as a Prison has to do with like being stuck inside your own head. These are all things and all reasons why I've gone to therapy. So they feel like they're all related.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boy in the Bubble's really good.
Thank you.
It's about like being able to understand and sympathize for somebody who's essentially a bully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
No?
Yeah, no, that's what it's about. And I guess this you go to therapy for a lot of different reasons, but some of it is past trauma.
Starts at the beginning, yeah.
Starts at the beginning. So yeah, it's related in that way.
Yeah, because that leads into being lost in your own fucking head. That's really interesting. Who points that out? You or fans?
Oh, my fans pointed it out, and then I'm just kind of going off of it. And
well
then,
done.
Yeah, they crush it. They do a good job. Oftentimes, I can't see the connections between a lot of these things, and then people point it out to me, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
You are amazing. You good?
Yeah.
You sure?
No, I just remember you were also saying and I don't know what this is, but Boy in the Bubble was reminding people of gotcha.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
what
I don't know. I didn't know what gotcha was, but apparently it's like a really big thing on TikTok. And a lot of people they discovered my music through like the little storylines that they made on this thing called gotcha and like Roblox and stuff like that. And I realized that, if you put that in your TikTok, a lot of people see it. So I use it a lot. Yeah.
We should be doing that.
This is where my brain is at. It's one of the reasons why I feel like lately, especially now too, I feel like I find it hard to focus on a lot of things at once, but lately my focus has just been how do I promote this music? And that's where my head is at. So when you're asking me questions about other things, I'm like, oh, I haven't thought about any of this shit. And I should be. But my head is how do I get this song to go viral on TikTok?
Hashtag gotcha.
And it's hashtag gotcha. But that's where my head is at. That's why my brain is so slow lately. It's the only thing I'm thinking about is how do I promote this music? Because I put so much into it and I really want it to be successful. And so I know that if I don't really if I don't lead the way and I don't post the songs and I don't do the things that I need to do, people aren't going to hear it. That's where my brain is at right now.
Do you feel like playing, opening for John Mayer, does that help your audience grow? Do you see the numbers go up?
It didn't hurt, but I think it's not we don't have the exact same audience.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that for me, that was a great thing for me to do, but it wasn't necessarily I also only did 8 shows. So it was a lot of people, but it wasn't the thing that's going to break the dam down.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it didn't hurt. It was awesome. But I think it helped. It helped.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more work to be done.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep being yourself and keep telling the stories and making music that's true to you.
I'm going to try.
I promise you everything else is going to fall into place.
I hope so.
You don't seem like you believe it
No, I'm
at
nervous
all.
right now. I'm nervous.
But
yeah.
why?
You
Like,
shouldn't
you've had so
be.
much success though. Why are you nervous?
I don't know. Just when you make songs and you're gonna show them to people for the first time, it's nerve-wracking.
Art is vulnerable. Sharing is vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's scary. But
I'm just scared.
that's okay. You are loved.
I appreciate it.
And
Thank
you are appreciated for your honesty and respected for your honesty.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you.
Thank you guys for having me.
You good?
Yeah.
I'm good. That's all I got. I'm just scared and nervous, but excited. So I hope that people like the music. Thanks for having me.
You're truly one of my favorite people on this planet.
The feeling is mutual.
I'm going to give you a gift.
Oh yeah.
This is for you.
Throw it to me. Here we go.
Yeah, take that with you.
Okay. All right. I don't want to keep it. I don't want to keep your stuff.
No,
but-
it's like, but that's the opposite of a gift.
all right.
dude.
Thank you. I will.
He just said no. I don't want that.
Yeah, like literally, I said, "Here's a gift." He
No, I
said,
want
"Throw it to
it.
me."
I
You
just
looked
don't-
at it, and then you were like, "Actually, no, I'm good."
No, I like it.
He's cool.
Thank you.
He's been in my life for many years.
Thank you. How long have you had him?
I mean, he's been around maybe 10 years.
I know. That's why I feel like I
No,
don't
but like
feel-
you carry him with you.
How about through this album process, and the next time I see you, I'll bring him back.
The traveling troll.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right.
That's goodwill. Just rub that log real quick.
This log.
Yeah, just good things. Good things are coming.
What a weird things happen up there.
Alec Benjamin,
Awesome.
everybody.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Amazing.